Alright, so I've got my Cliffy Protectors in, and not only did I get them in, I got them in like super fast. So major thumbs up to Cliff on getting me these things so quickly. I will by all means have a link in the description down below to his website to get this glorious product for your pinball machine. Now, a couple of things that you need to make sure that when you do is have all of this stuff out of the way. This is why I haven't assembled this machine yet, because these things usually require a couple of holes, depending on the machine of course, to make sure that these things get mounted down and do not move. So as you can see, all the effort that I put into getting this hole look nice and pretty didn't need to be done around the edges because it's going to be covered up. Same ordeal with over here, and the same ordeal with this one right here. And then I've got the upper plate filled one over here in place. Now I haven't got these things mounted down yet, but we're going to go over that. So all you got to do is get this thing out of the way. And we have a peel portion right here that you're going to be peeling off to adhere to the play field so it stays down. In order for it to work the best, you basically just use the alcohol prep wipe that comes with the package. Wipe around where you're going to be sticking it down. Then you'll peel off this portion on top to make sure that you're going to be able to visually see this lining up with the holes. Press it down, and then you should be good to go. Alright, so I'll wipe down the area where the adhesive wipe was at. I'll move this over just enough to make sure that my holes were all going to be able to line up accordingly. And now I can start mounting down the post on top of this. But I'm going to keep it like this for now. So, move on to the next one. Then once you've got it all tacked down and everything's in the right place, all you simply do is remove the protective coating on top. And your Cliffy protector is installed. I normally do this with 2 hands, guys. Makes it easier, that's for damn sure. There we go. And that one's installed too. Cliffies are good to go. Here we have old and busted. Just not looking too pretty. Now I could clean that up and make it look pretty decent. But I went ahead and decided to go with all new. So sexy. I even got new screws to go in there. Thanks to Marco. Working on getting the apron and everything put back together. We are no longer in France. So we're going to be removing this and get it all cleaned up. I think I'm going to even make a new image that goes right here and stuff like that. Probably have to Photoshop all that together. We got the upper plate field back on here. This is where I'm working at so far. I wanted to point out one of the things that I'm doing, and that is I'm not putting LED flash bulbs on bulbs that are above the play field to where the player can really see them. And the reason behind that is because, at least with the bulbs that I get, these right here, these things are really bright and they can be very daunting on the player's eyes, especially whenever they're really visible. And I want to say on this game there's about 3 or 4 bulbs. And this is how it is on a couple of Gottliebs. Water World is being one of them. That's where I learned that I need to tame down the flasher bulbs that are above the playfield like this, because they're just too much. I have never played a game like Water World that had so many flashers up top, and when they're so intense, I mean, I literally cannot really see. My eyes start watering real bad. So I tried to learn from that mistake, and I'm going to be putting incandescents in here. You're still going to get the nice visual effect, and it's not going to be too intense for the player. So that's what I'm doing on that note. We got all new flipper bats and rubbers on these, and work continues. Alright, pretty much got the upper play field all put together. Still little things here and there, I think. Now it's time to start putting the big plastic portions together. This is another piece that's going to need a pretty good cleaning on. Looks a little dirty. But it is intact, so I will give it that. Let's get it all cleaned up. Alright, starting to get more and more put together. Got the wire form in place, the ramp. I still need to install some screws. And this is merely just sitting here for right now. I'm about to get that all bolted down in place. Pretty much just cleaned it up the way it was. This ramp is definitely heavily damaged around down here. They don't make this ramp anymore, so I'm gonna have to just make do. It still functions the way it should though. Alright, the playfield is almost completely reassembled. I believe the only thing I'm missing is the yellow pipe that goes right there. And then I'll raise the playfield up and start getting the rest of the LEDs installed and connecting all the wires that go up underneath here and stuff. Here we go! Oh my goodness, I forgot to make these on the upper playfield LEDs. As I was painting over the playfield, I was like, man, those bulbs don't look as nice and shiny as the rest of them. I mean, you can tell the difference between incandescents and LEDs. Alright, let's fix that and call her done. And this baby is pretty much done, ladies and gentlemen. Just got finished playing a couple of games. Everything is working as it should. The only thing left is to replace this crap T-molding right here with some new stuff that I just got in from tmolding.com. Can you guess what color I decided to go with? I bet you can. Now, some of you out there would like to know how to go about installing this stuff when it comes to getting it on there. I've already got one side on there. Then I was like, well, you know what? I better describe what it is I'm doing. That way, in case someone doesn't know how to do this, they will. Now, the easy way to go about doing this is take off the old stuff, line it up with the old pieces, and just cut it the identical cut as the previous one, guys. It's pretty much that easy. All I'm doing is just going to line it up, cut off right there in the end where the other one's at, and that way they should be fit just the way the old ones did, only looking bright, shiny, and new. Man, I thought I was done with this thing, and then I remembered that I needed to get the drop target cleaned up that goes in down here between the flippers. So I'm disassembling all of this, getting all of this cleaned up, seeing if I can even clean this up, and then we'll get it put back together again, and then we should be done.